engagement, and I have a question too, but it's not just engagement, it's the fact that there's gonna be 30,000 people that aren't gonna finish their ballot this year on this in Virginia Beach. So if we wanna make a difference, this community wants to make a difference, finish the ballot, come on down and vote for city council and some of the local races.
And just explain what you mean, so it won't finish the ballot. They'll vote in the Senate race.
They all wanna vote for you.
Yeah, but and if there was a presidential, then there would be presidential voters who wouldn't even vote in the Senate race.
Right, exactly. So it tends to jump off. But my question is, I'm a retailer, and I have 7 stores, and I love your idea about the joining the chambers, because I was a member of Williamsburg, I was a member of Peninsula, and
you reduce your dues paying.
That's my dues, yeah. No, but retail's going through a major change right now. We've lost Farm Fresh, we've lost Toys R Us, we're losing Sears. That's a lot of jobs, and there's a big transition. Is there anything coming down on the federal government that is going to help this transition in terms of traditional retail?
Yeah, great question. So, how many in here are connected to retail? Because this, retail, but everybody is a retail. Everybody's connected to retail, right? I'm a shopper. So, I would say, David, that the one thing that we really have to do for retail is something that the Senate has wanted to do for 5 years, but the House has blocked. But I think if the House goes Democratic, and I think it will, I think we'll have the opportunity to do this. It'll be interesting to see what the president will do, but that is to try to treat retailers and online merchants the same when it comes to sales tax. So, I think you all know this. I just actually was at the grand opening of a retail store in Portsmouth right before I came here. And it's a retail store opened by a woman who was the military spouse of the year in the Marine Corps for the nation in the last couple of years. And she's opening up a downtown retailer, and it's right next to an interesting bike store. And I was over talking to the guy running the bike store too. Now, this is what I hear. I'm a cyclist, so I'll use this as an example, but the example's common. You go to a bicycle store, they'll tell you they have customers that come in, I want to buy a bike, what do you think? And they get all this great customer service. What size frame should I buy? What kind of bike? Okay, so you're going to buy it? Well, I'm going to think about it. Yeah, I'll definitely come back. Well, then, but they just write down everything, and then they go order online, and they don't have to pay sales tax. And so all the service that they have been provided by a retailer ends up being for nothing, and then somebody orders online. Now, we passed a bill in the Senate in the summer of 2013 to basically require that online retailers would add sales tax. So if they're shipping to you in Virginia Beach, they're going to put the sales tax on in Virginia Beach, state plus the Virginia Beach sales tax. If they're shipping to me in Richmond, they do Richmond. They would do that, and then they would remit the sales tax to the state. We passed that in the Senate. We had 90 votes, which is, for the Senate, you don't get that for Mother's Day. But when it went to the House wouldn't do it. We even had the Amazons and the online retailers on board with it. Craigslist didn't like it, but Amazons and others got on board because we created it in a way that was easier to administer, so they liked it. The House wouldn't pass it. This summer, the Supreme Court issued a ruling that basically cleared the way to do it. But if we can take the House, I think the House will now pass this, send it to the Senate, the votes are still there in the Senate. You shouldn't be disadvantaged to the online retailer. And the reason that it's changed so much, it's not only the sales tax issue, it's just convenience. People, hey, if I can sit at my house in my pajamas and order, it's easier. But the sales tax issue is a big one. That would help even the playing field a little bit.
What about the workers that are unemployed? Because we're going to have a large number of workers that should, just like we do in some of these other industries. Is there something coming down in terms of retraining or redirecting, and then right down to the local level?
That's really important, because say you have an online retailer like a grocery store, like an Aldi or a Publix, but now what they do is they don't, it's self-serve at the register, and now you're going to be able to start to walk in with your smartphone, and there won't be a register at all. When you're walking out of the store, your smartphone will just tote up everything you have in your cart, and you'll pay, that'll be a credit card charge, and so there won't be cashiers at all. It'll all be self-serve. So you're starting to see some grocery stores with Amazon buying Whole Foods. You're starting to see them look at that. So that's on the shoulders of our education committee. These guys are big educators. Education is their passion. I'm on the education committee, and one of the issues, the first big bill we're gonna do in 2019 is rewriting the Higher Education Act. And that's about training, retraining, how we train teachers, K-12 teachers, so that they can equip people with the skills that they're gonna need in a much more digital economy with artificial intelligence and mechanization. So yeah, these big retraining issues are in store for us. Yeah, please.